Yeah, we're hanging out here this afternoon on I-105 in Rick's Music Room, and I'll tell you what, we lucked out here this afternoon, kids. These guys have been just really lighting things up since they burst onto the scene. I won't say how many years ago, because I remember when the album came out, the first album came out. We were talking a little bit about that. Let's first off say welcome to Los Lonely Boys. Gentlemen, hey man.
How's it going?
Hey.
What's going on, brother?
The party follows you guys, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it usually
That's what
closes
they say.
down after we leave. Man,
After you leave, the party's done. First off, welcome back to Knoxville. I don't know how long it's been, but it's great to have you guys back here. And
we're honored to be back, man. It's been a while.
And congratulations on the success of the new album, which I have been mispronouncing.
Have you?
We'll talk about that here in just a second. But I want to go back a little bit because we were talking about this, and I remember years and years ago when the first album came out. Okay. You guys came to town and you did a show at Sundown City, down on Market Square, downtown, and the album was just starting to break. And we sat down and we talked for a few minutes in a little bar down at the Preservation Pub. We sat down and we talked for a few minutes, and then you guys went, you did your show, and off you go. And I remember watching the awards show, and I remember sitting there and you watch them read off, you know, Green Day and U2 and all of these legendary bands, and then they hit you guys, and I'm like, man, is this just you know, it's the whole story. It just doesn't seem fair. You know, it's like, you know, you guys are going up against all of these huge hitters, and then out of nowhere, the look on your faces was just priceless when you won the award. that was so cool. And I know I'm going way back, but man, that was so
Well, it's
cool.
like we were talking about it, you know, a while ago, man. When we won it, it felt like every average person won that Grammy Award, man. It wasn't just like we won it. We won it for everybody that gets knocked down, that gets said that you can't do it, or
held back, or something
just
like
your
that.
average guy that you know, you see him out at the bar.
The underdog.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right, man. And when our dad was with us there, that meant a lot too, because our dad was with us when we won the Grammy. He seemed to.
He heard it before we heard it. He didn't see it on the video or the picture. He
knew in his heart.
He's already standing up screaming, and we're going like, I'm in all in slow motion. They just say slowly, do I have a booger? Oh my God.
All that hitting it once, we just tried to slow it down. It was like, what did we do? We looked like we were ready to run when they called our name. We're like, we didn't do it.
We didn't do it.
It didn't stop either when we got on stage and we had to say, you know, thanks to all the people that helped us. And I don't even think we mentioned anybody's name.
No, we didn't. We were like, thanks, man. Before we said God.
We went to a Grammy party that night and they were like, y'all didn't thank anybody. We were like,
they should be thanking us, man.
We thank God, man, first and foremost, man.
We did thank God and our mom and dad. We did do that.
But it wasn't on purpose, you know.
Right,
but if you look really close, I remember there was this one point where I almost like, kind of like, you know, like,
Yeah, it was amazing.
That just is the culmination of a lot of years of hard work.
For sure.
And then all of a sudden to get that recognition.
And then to walk by down the aisle when you're walking down there to get the award, and Beyonce and Jay-Z and Tim McGraw and Faith Hill kind of look at you and go, all right. You're like, all right.
You guys love me, don't you?
We don't, number one, we don't do music for awards or for any, you know, fame or fortune for that
matter. But it's an honor, you know,
because we love to play music, and to be received like that by the people, man, it's such a great honor, just like JoJo said.
It's one of the biggest honors out there for musicians, especially, you know, because of the fact that it's not based around anything about record sales or anything like that. It's all based about what people like and the music, and we made it that year, man. You know, out of all the, you know, I never really imagined winning a Grammy. Were you fixing to say this?
No, I was going to say it. At that time, we didn't even really know
what it was about, really.
You know, really what was a Grammy.
Well, at least I didn't, and I don't know if Henry didn't really.
We used to see the award shows.
I did.
That's why I said I did it, because hey, this guy's already sitting there going,
well, we
you.
recently just did like a Grammy museum party, and we got to go in the museum, and I read the paper about what a whole Grammy was and everything.
The history of it.
Yeah, and it just, man, it was amazing, because right when I walked into this room, the scene came on where we were accepting the award. It was like, wow,
that's cool.
Somebody watching me?
They were watching you, man, because I walked up there and I didn't get that video.
Well, you guys have a show going on tonight at the Bijou Theater.
Yes, sir.
Also going to be doing an in-store over at the Disc Exchange, and that's set up for about 5 o'clock.
That's
so
right.
people can go down there. The new album, I've been mispronouncing. I think we all have. And that's what's kind of nice when you guys come in. We get a chance to talk about that.
We get a chance to fix it.
How about that? We're, you know, and I'm not ashamed to admit the fact that I'm wrong.
Well, what have you been calling it?
Pango. It's Pongo.
It's Pongo.
Yeah, it's Pongo.
Right.
Rock Pongo. Yeah, that's right.
I didn't know that. But, you know, congratulations on that album and on all the great work with that.
Well, thank you, brother.
Do
Thank
you
you.
guys feel a level of stress or pressure after the songs that you've put out, the albums that you've put out? Do you feel like, you know...
I can personally say for myself, this is JoJo talking, that I don't really feel any pressure, man. I think the only real pressure that I guess I feel is when we're at home writing or I'm at home trying to create, and just that kind of, you know, pressure of going like, where's it going to come from the next one? But you know what? Believe it or not, man, when you let go, a lot of the times, and quit trying, it just comes to you, man.
It comes naturally.
It really does come naturally, because it's a, you know, we do believe that it's a real gift from God, man. And whether it's a melody or a musical, you know, riff or lyrical, we believe it comes from a higher power, man.
Because no matter what you do, life's gonna have its pressures, man. And you know, us, when it comes to music, that's a way for us to let it out.
The night before we actually started doing the record, we finished like 3 songs just that night, lyrically, you know, and it was like brainstorming, all of a sudden it's like, God says, hey, here it is, dude, chill out. Boom, done.
And off you go.
Yeah, man.
So normal pressures, man, just like everybody else, man, just trying to make it day to day, man, live week by week with every little bit of money everybody can scrounge up, man, because it's tough out there all over, man.
Yeah, but speaking musically, man, music's gonna grow, man, and whether it's a great song or an okay song, man, you know, we're learning, Stu, just over time that you got to put it down, man. Whether it's, like I said, something great or something not great, or you might think it's great and it's not great to somebody.
Right.
I mean, we just like this new record, you know, there's some of the songs on there, like this one called 16 Monkeys. We just wrote it just for fun, never intended to record
We
it.
wrote it years ago, a couple of years ago.
We're going to talk about that one because I really want to dive into this one just a little bit. Why don't we do a tune and then we'll talk about 16 Monkeys and all that good stuff, what's going on. Los Lonely Boys hanging out with us here in Rick's Music Room. Knoxville's independent radio is I-105.
Fly away. Thank you.